In this video, I would like to prepare you for your Skype interview and give you useful tips which should help you increase your chances of getting a job or an internship. First, technical requirements. Please check beforehand whether your Skype name and profile picture leave a professional impression. Usernames such as Superhero123 are not very appropriate. On your profile picture, you should appear reputable. A taboo are party photos with beer cans, manga characters, etc. Also check if your internet connection is working and fast enough, as well as if your microphone and camera are functioning well. Choose a quiet place which is not loud, so that you and the person interviewing you can understand each other. It is important that you will not be distracted by other sounds. The room in which you will conduct the interview should have a neutral background and be tidy. Second, your appearance. Your appearance during the Skype interview should be formal. You do not necessarily have to wear a complete suit or costume, but at least a white shirt with a collar or a formal blouse would be ideal. Choose your clothes as if you were going to a job interview on site. Dress up completely, even with neat pants or skirt and formal shoes, because you never know what the person who is making the interview might see. Please do not wear too strong makeup or very eye-catching jewelry. The choice of your accessories should be discreet. Tattoos should be covered as much as possible and piercings should be removed. Your hair should be washed, dressed properly, and have no unnatural hue. Men should not wear a beard. Please consider to get as close as possible to the following ideals. Third, your body language. Your body language also plays a significant role in the Skype interview. You should sit straight and upright. Avoid in any case being too relaxed in a sitting position. Your legs and arms should be parallel to each other and not crossed. Do not slump on the chair or desk or holding your head in a tired-like manner, even if the conversation is late in the evening or early in the morning. Smile, however, do not be too tense, exaggerated, serious, or nervous. Fourth, the communication style. During the conversation, you should always be polite and not too intrusive, too shy, or reserved. Listen with full attention and always show interest. Do not interrupt the person who is conducting the Skype interview with you and always let them complete their sentences. Say thank you a couple of times during the whole interview. For example, that the company is interested in you, the time that was dedicated to you and the job interview, etc. Apologize in detail for any inconvenience or difficulty that you may cause the person or company, even if such inconvenience and difficulty are quite minor. It is important to remember that in Japan, young people are seen as listeners and learners. It is expected that they fit in with the task and are more likely to subordinate to their superiors. Avoid any statements or behaviors that may be perceived, such as that you know it better, are obtuse, or that you are ignoring the company's rules. Fifth, content preparation. You should inform yourself in advance about the company or organization in which you are applying. This works best if you look at the respective website and familiarize with the company's profile as well as their offered services and products. Even a blog or similar gives you a good insight into the company. If the site is only available in Japanese and you have trouble reading it, use Google Translate. Once you have done that, your mind should have a basic idea of what your internship or work assignment might look like there. This means that you will be able to answer every possible question. In response, avoid statements such as "I do not know," but always answer in complete, meaningful, and clear, understandable sentences. You should think up of at least 3 questions before the interview, which you can ask at the end of the interview when asked to do so. It always seems very negative if you do not think of any questions. Of course, if the questions have been answered in advance, then you will not ask them again, but you will have to come up with new questions based on the conversation. Another good question to ask is also how to prepare the best for the job or internship. Before the interview, consider what you are answering to these standard questions. First, introduce yourself. Please prepare a short presentation about yourself. The best is to give information about your education, further education, and previous work experience. If you are providing this information about yourself, you will create a trustworthy balance between your previous experience and your application. Think about everything that you have already done, what can make a positive impression on the job you're applying for, and think about how to present it positively but always realistically. If you want to do an internship in an afternoon care for children or in a kindergarten, but you did not work in a professional environment with children before, then of course you can mention that you have looked after younger siblings or children of relatives, or at least you have regularly engaged with them. Of course, you can also name suitable hobbies and interests. Especially sports and musical activities are very much appreciated in childcare, but also in other jobs as they show that you are active. In any case, unless knowledge of it is part of the job, you should avoid saying that you are passionate about manga, anime, and gaming, as people who are passionate about these areas are often considered to be less socially competent in Japan. Other no-goes for hobbies and interests are, example, sleeping, celebrating, doing nothing, watching TV, etc. This shows a passive character. Second, explain why you want to do an internship or a job in Japan. A good way is to mention aspects that are of particular interest to you in the Japanese working environment and to say that you expect that knowledge to advance you in your professional career. So if you're planning to carry out a business internship, you will need to follow and learn certain kinds of Japanese business etiquette. To gain this knowledge in an international environment is beneficial. You can also point out that you want to get to know the high professional level of a hotel internship in Japan, or that the punctual and accurate way of working of the Japanese are very fascinating to you. Also, saying that you want to learn the Japanese language is a good reason. Another possibility is to mention personal relationships with Japan, such as having met Japanese people at home and being thrilled about their culture. Third, what do you expect from this job or internship? Again, it is a good idea to go into the personal career development with similar points that I just mentioned before. This means issues such as learning and getting to know the Japanese work culture. Connect these reasons specifically with the company where you are applying. Never say that you have no idea what to expect from the job or company in general. Otherwise, it will look like you're not serious about the job because you did not try to gain background information and did not read properly about the company and the internship or job advertisement. Fourth, why do you want to be with this company? Describe in concrete terms and in detail why you think the company will meet your expectations. Never say that the company was just told to you from World Unite, or that you need an internship because your university wants it. Also avoid mentioning only personal benefits in this question, but mention the advantages towards the company as to why they should pick you. How can you help the company benefit from your presence? Fifth, what skills do you have and which one do you want to learn? Identify your company relevant strengths, qualifications, and work experience that you have already acquired. Again, it is a good idea to list points where the company can see benefits for themselves. Please stay realistic though. In Japan, when it comes to jobs, many people understate their skills rather than exaggerate. If you present yourself as an expert in one area but only have basic knowledge in it, the company will either notice it in the interview or latest after you start working, hence disappointment or problems are inevitable. Try to give a neutral as possible and realistic description and plead what you want to continue to learn in your job or improve on your skills. It is perfectly normal in Japan that no high level of expertise is expected from young job seekers, but companies want to see that you are eager to learn, motivated, and that you are full of youthful energy. If you want to do an internship in a kindergarten or gakudo or applying for a pre-arranged childcare job, you should study hiragana before your arrival. The children all have small name tags written in hiragana. Their shelves, clothes, and other items which belong to them will also be marked with their names written in hiragana. If you say that you will be studying hiragana before your arrival, then this will express your motivation and your will to learn. 6th, what is your Japanese knowledge? If you are already able to speak in Japanese, please try this, even if your Japanese is not perfect. If you only have a basic knowledge, it is also a good idea to do at least a greeting or the basic idea of your self-introduction in Japanese. You can memorize or write down the sentences and phrases before the interview. It is always good to say that you're learning Japanese and want to improve it until you arrive. 7th, what do you plan after this internship or job? In this interview, you should state that you already have a plan or at least an idea about what you will do after your job or internship. Japanese people like concrete long-term plans that often go far into the future. You can, for example, say that after completing your childcare internship, you intend to study educational science. 8th, describe a situation that was particularly challenging for you and how you could handle it. To answer this question, select a situation from your professional or everyday life that was initially difficult and challenging for you, then explain how you managed to solve it. Above all, the employer asks this question to see if you can cope with more difficult situations and find solutions for yourself. Therefore, exactly explain your strategy to solve a challenging situation. 9th, how long are you available? If the duration of your job or internship has not been thoroughly discussed in advance and you are asked how long you can work in your job or internship, it is best to state the period of the validity of your visa. Thus, you do not pinpoint yourself and remain flexible, but show your employer that you are available for a longer period of time. It is always an advantage in Japan if you are available in a longer term. After the job interview, you should be very polite to the person who took the time to interview you. Once the conversation is over and you hang up, please check to see if you really hung up. We wish you all the best for your Skype interview and please do not hesitate to contact us anytime if you have further questions.